the Rockets are still sitting pretty. The Rockets are still sitting pretty as big stories, big conversation points, not only here but in the city. The latest now has happened, and that is Fred VanVleet. We understood that they opted out. They even pushed it back for a longer period of time to kind of take a look at what kind of deal they could get done, and they have been able to do so. And they have, it looks like they are planning to agree to a 2-year, $50 million deal. Clint, a 2-year, $50 million deal to stay with the Houston Rockets. Fred VanVleet was set to make $44.9 million in the team option next season, and that is done, and now a new deal, and now it looks like, I think I can add that one up, 25 a year over the next 2 years, which makes a lot more sense for where Fred is right now, and I think that's a great move, and obviously that puts them in a better place to kind of allocate money elsewhere as opposed to giving him $45 million.
Hell yeah, it's a good deal. I mean, to go from potentially making $43, $44 million a year to agreeing to 25 per over 2, I mean, I think it's a great deal. I think it's a team-friendly deal. I know Fred VanVleet is not maybe who he once was, but after that run he just made in the playoffs and helping build that culture and the foundation with Ime Udoka, I got to believe if he would have wanted to, he could have pushed for more than $25 million a year.
Yeah, he'd have been somewhere in Washington, though. That makes the most sense for him,
no
too.
No question. But I think that's the beauty of it, right? Is you got veteran players, you got superstars, veteran players like Kevin Durant that want to come here over other places, and then when they get here, they're talking about taking less. To allow the team to build around. And then you've got, I mean, literally within a handful of days, you've got Fred VanVleet agreeing to a deal that seems to be significantly less money than he could have made elsewhere in the NBA. The fact that they've built something that guys want to be a part of, that guys are willing to take less to be a part of, there's something to be said there. The Rockets have accomplished a lot of things, and that's what we're seeing that they've accomplished as of late.
And now how we're seeing how this has unfolded with them bringing in Kevin Durant and moving on with Dillon Brooks and Green. But you can see now his value to keeping him here is even greater right now. The value that he will potentially bring as a steadying point guard that knows how to play with stars. He won a championship playing with Kawhi Leonard, so he knows how to play his role off of a player like that. And now, obviously, the leadership comes even more with him now that Dillon Brooks has moved on to Phoenix. Now, his value for the Rockets is even, to me, even greater than it was, the first couple of years. I think he was big to set the culture, but now him and Kevin Durant, and I guess is Jeff Green still on the team? I guess he's still. Jeff Green is it there? Him and Durant are the two guys who have won championships and played deep into the playoffs. Those are the two guys, and to have him back there with Kevin Durant makes a ton of sense.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the critics of Kevin Durant, I mean, the alpha on the floor, the leader on the floor, the leader other than just the actions and the work ethic may be lacking. If you listen to the critics, I mean, I think Ime Udoka is plenty alpha enough to overcome whatever Kevin Durant isn't. But if you look at Fred VanVleet, again, coming off that unbelievable performance in the playoffs, the only reason that they even hung around in the playoffs,
he got high.
I mean, and that leadership component that you're talking about could be even more valuable now, alongside Kevin Durant than maybe it was before. So, it's just, I think it's very telling about the team that these guys are, again, willing to take less and willing to take what I would refer to as team-friendly deals to stick around because they believe that they can win here.
Let me ask you and the people this 713-572-4610, YouTube and Twitch. Please jump in on this as well. Now we know they've got Fred secured, and he's going to be in the backcourt with his contract. We know they've traded for KD, Amin Thompson, Şengün, Jabari Smith. Everything that we can kind of see that they have. Tari Eason, I know yesterday you talked about the potential importance of Reed Shepherd. Steven Adams they bring back as well. Cam Whitmore, the rest of the crew. as I said yesterday, when I look at this, I still believe they are going to add a piece that is another contributor that's not here yet. When you look at what you think about this team, what do you think they need still? Obviously, they lost Dylan Brooks. And there's something there from the way he shot last year, and all the intangible stuff. But if you're looking at, if you're like, all right, Rafael Stone is potentially and Udoka potentially looking at adding another veteran piece or another piece there. I know they talked about Russell Westbrook and Harden or whatever, but what do you think this team, for you, when you look at what they're going to put out there, still may need?
Man, that's a good question. Look, I think we talked yesterday, obviously, about Reed Sheppard and that shooting aspect. But as I look at what you put out here as the potential starting lineup, VanVleet, Amen Thompson, KD, Jabari Smith, and Şengün, I mean, I think between KD obviously and Jabari Smith being on the floor more, and Fred VanVleet showing what he did in the playoffs, I do think you've got some shooting there in the starting lineup that I think you can live with and win with. I think for me, it's a we're talking championship caliber stuff. We're talking about the team being viewed on. I think it's Amen Thompson taking the next step.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't your number 2 to KD can't be a guy that may or may not have the confidence, may or may not believe in his jump shot, may or may not believe in kind of his approach to the game night in, night out. So I would say Amen Thompson taking the next step would determine, unless they're going to make another move for a bigger name player. Like, I think Amen Thompson taking the next step is key.
Text line coming in, and this could be, you just said that, text line coming in, Rockets need another playmaking guard. And he says that can shoot. Another playmaking guard. That could be Amen Thompson, the next step for him to be the next playmaker. I would say still, especially with you, because your Reed Sheppard feel is more of a hope, like a not. Well,
that's
more
why
of a
I
hope,
picked it, because I feel like I know what these other guys bring to the table. I don't know what Reed Sheppard brings to the table.
What you're hoping he brings to the table is shooting. And for me, and someone, Rocky texted in 3-and-D guy, a three-point shooter, defensive wing guy. Cam Johnson is a name he put forth. I am still not 100%, not 100%, but not confident and comfortable with their shooting completely yet. I think they need to add another shooter. If they could add another, like you said, Cam Johnson, Rocky, I'm thinking guys that are available. Quentin Grimes, who started to kind of go off a little bit there. Remember him from playing with the Cougs, but he started to go off there with Philly. Malik Beasley has been a shooter in the league. He shot the ball really well with Detroit last year, kind of a guard forward. Those guys are guards or forwards that can shoot. Because right now, when you look at it, I feel good about KD as a shooter. Jabari and Fred still right now, I would categorize as streaky at times. Like, I still don't know that they are just, all right, come in and knock down, right? And then Tari Eason is I think a little bit below those two. And then Reed Sheppard is the one you think could be it, but again, as we said yesterday, you can't go past the fact that they desperately needed shooting. He was the third overall pick, and they wouldn't put him on the floor. So, to me, if they could find a guy that is proven that all right, man, when KD or Şengün are being doubled or they're going to – this is a guy that can go spot up and knock down shots. I think that one piece that they're moving in some form or fashion. So I think they still need some shooting. We'll talk to Brandon Scott about that at 4:40 in the 4 o'clock hour, see what he thinks they potentially still may need moving forward.